Adolf Hitler is regarded as one of the world's most hated inhabitants. He's the main cause for millions of deaths throughout World War II. Over 6 million Jews were exterminated at Hitler's command, and the overall death toll in World War II was about 60 million people. It was the deadliest and greatest war in Earth's history, involving some 61 countries and costing around $2 trillion. In total, World War II lasted 8 years, involving much suffering, sorrow, and violence. It is regarded as the worst event in history, consisting of unimaginable acts of violence. Adolf Hitler contributed much of this sorrow and violence, playing an important role throughout the war. So, how was Adolf Hitler able to become such a monstrous figure? The answer lies mainly in his past, extended throughout his childhood. As a child, he suffered through many tragedies and sorrowful moments, eventually shaping him into the monstrosity he became. He had to deal with strict parenting and abuse, mainly from his father, Alois Hitler. Alois served in the Austrian civil service in 1895, retiring on a pension, when young Adolf was just 6 years old. This allowed Alois to be around his children much more than before, also allowing him to be much more harsh more often. In fact, 1 year later, in 1896, 14-year-old Alois Jr. was subject to so much harsh treatment and abuse that he couldn't take it. Alois Jr. ran away, putting Adolf next in line for the beatings. Also at the age of 6, baby Edmund was born, which required Adolf's caring mother to give up lots of time with him. She was too busy taking care of the baby, leaving mainly Alois and Adolf in the household. Adolf was subject to very harsh beatings and treatments, creating a strong hate for his father. In grade school, he was seen as a leader among peers, a confident, joyful, and charismatic student. He was very social and was doing really well in school too, getting very positive feedback from teachers. But at almost 11 years old, Adolf's favorite sibling, Edmund, died of measles. Suddenly, it was as if Hitler's life had turned around. Edmund meant so much to Hitler, and he suddenly disappeared from his life. Over the years, Hitler's grades began dropping. He became more sullen and detached, and he also constantly fought with his teachers as well as his father. Adolf was beginning to lose sight of the world and going through a very rough period in his life. He was constantly angry and wanted to pick fights. To express his anger and hate, Hitler adopted a new hobby and obsession: German nationalism. Alois Hitler considered his family more Austrian than German, proving very loyal to the Austrian government. Since Adolf strongly hated his father, he wanted to rebel against him by considering himself German. At first, this wasn't a completely serious thought, but it quickly evolved into a passion of his. As he kept practicing German nationalism as a joke over and over again, it started to become a reality for him. Some German lectures after World War I repeated a common message of Germans being part of a super race and being superior to everyone else. Although many people regarded these lectures and speeches as jokes and crackpot ideas, Hitler seemed intrigued by them. Hitler was so devoted to his country of Germany that he even served in World War I, accepting a very dangerous and risky task. Hitler served in France and Belgium in the 16th Bavarian Reserve Regiment, running messages to the front lines and back. This was the most dangerous job on the Western Front, as messengers were often exposed to enemy fire. Hitler was rewarded for his bravery, receiving an Iron Cross Second Class in 1914 and an Iron Cross First Class in 1918. Receiving an Iron Cross First Class in Hitler's position was very rare and admirable, showing that many of Hitler's superiors noted his dedication to Germany. Germany losing World War I shattered Hitler. The Treaty of Versailles had a huge effect on him too, which basically shamed the entire German nation and humiliated them. Germany had to accept blame for World War I and the millions of deaths along with it. Hitler began serving in 1914, thinking Germany was guaranteed to win the war, being a superior country. He hadn't at all expected Germany losing. When the news was delivered to him, recovering from war injuries in a hospital, he began crying and had extreme difficulty in coping with the news. He suddenly wanted revenge for the humiliation Germany was forced to deal with. He was constantly frustrated, trying whatever method possible to get his message of German superiority up to anyone who would listen. Hitler was desperate to prove Germany was extremely powerful and superior. He turned to the German Workers' Party, finding out about their beliefs while working as a police spy, trying to learn more about them. The party changed its name to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, commonly known as the Nazis. Over time, Hitler began to gain popularity through his charismatic leadership, completely changing his image from an angry, shattered war veteran to a confident, determined leader willing to do whatever necessary to benefit Germany. As Hitler gained popularity in the Nazi Party, he also gained power. The Treaty of Versailles left Germany to pay off $33 billion, greatly impacting their economy, adding on to the billions needed in war efforts. Hitler was soon elected Chancellor of Germany in 1933 with a convincing argument of providing many German citizens with jobs, helping them recover from their horrible economy. People were blinded by this great opportunity Hitler had to offer, and they failed to see the reality of his beliefs. Hitler just wanted to be in a better condition, earning Hitler his seat as Chancellor of Germany. Through sharpness and cunning, Hitler managed to pass laws, allowing him to do much more than previous chancellors could, and greatly limiting the power of Germany's president, who evidently wasn't a supporter of Hitler at that time. Hitler had become dictator of Germany. Now, he had the power to express his beliefs as desired, directly resulting in millions and millions of deaths. In conclusion, scarring and sorrowful moments in young Adolf Hitler's life greatly influenced his decisions as an adult. Constant beatings and harsh parenting played a huge role in providing Hitler with the anger needed to kill millions of innocent victims. The death of his favorite sibling also provided Hitler with the sorrow needed to accomplish this horrific task. Yet extreme German nationalism sealed the deal, providing Hitler with the final path to follow. It allowed Hitler to channel all his anger and sorrow into a single goal of making Germany superior. Could there have been any other significant reason for Hitler contributing millions and millions of horrific murders to the world?